Hello everyone, welcome to Khatri 3D. In this video, I will continue my sculpt where I have left off last time, and in this video, our main topic is appeal. How to bring the appeal to the character. I will start from this condition and I will end up with this condition. We will talk about the varieties of ways we could bring the appeal in. It could be silhouette, it could be shapes, it could be proportions, it could be polypaint texturing, it could be even coloring of the eyes. And of course I'll be merging all the parts of the body. I will polypaint the additional on the hands and the eyes, the redness, and I will add some apparel as well. I'll fix the t-shirt, I will add the hairbands. So stick with me, let's come with me if you haven't, and I hope you like this video. Let's begin. So before I talk about the appeal, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is these hands. They are basic block. I haven't merged it like the body and the head I merged in the last video. So I will just finish these hands quickly, and again I will repeat those same steps which I do on my every video. I will select the palm and go to subtool and hold shift and click this arrow. Remember, you have to hold shift. What it will do is it will place those palms at the bottom of the subtools. Alright, I will hold alt and select the fingers. Again I will do this. It is just for the sake of the fast process of merging. Alright, and because we would have to search the tools manually and place them bottom of the each, but I use this method. It makes the process faster. So I will select the palms, I will hit merge down. Remember, you can merge down by going into merge. Alright, I will hit OK. Now the dynamic subdivision is turned on for both of this. Remember, I use dynamic subdivision on all of my model. I will go to dynamic subdivision and click this apply and delete the lower. Now we can easily merge this with boolean union. I use boolean union compared to remesh by union compared to dynamesh because dynamesh sometimes gives me artifacts. Okay, I will use remesh by union, hit gear icon and click accept. Alright, now we have the weld geometry, and what I will do is I will just select the one in the Z remesher, keep groups on and Z remesh it. Alright, we have Z remeshed it. Now we have the proper topology with the polygroups. I will select the skin color again because when we Z remesh it, it tends to remove the polypaint, and I will go to fill object, click this fill object. Now we have filled the hands with the brown color. I will hit Ctrl D this time. I will not use dynamic subdivision, and I will just try to smooth out the hands a little bit. Okay, I will try to add clay to make the fingers fat. Alright, so just like that, and let's see how we fare. Don't go overboard with this. Alright, we have to use the clay brush a little bit. Again I will smooth it out and add clay on top of it, or we can carve it in and add the clay onto the fingers a little bit to make them. I will add the clay to the thumb as well. Alright, now we have merged the palms with the fingers. Again, the model is not yet completely merged. We have to somehow merge the hand with the body. Alright, again I will go to subtool and click this arrow to make the body jump to the bottom of the subtools. I will select the hands. Alright, I will select the hands and do the same steps again. Now the body has 3 levels of subdivision, and the hands also have 3 levels of subdivision. So if I merge these two, I will preserve these subdivision levels, which I don't want at the moment. Okay, I have merged these parts. Go to geometry and hit delete lower. Remember, we have 131k active points, so after merge it, we will project the details, all this polypen I want to project. Okay, now Z remesher, I will hit 5, not 1 this time. So okay, I will hit Z remesher with keeps groups. Oh sorry, I have forgot to use the remesh by union. Remember, I have merged this part because I need to merge them. I will hit W and W again. W and Y again. I am switching the Gizmo 3D tool with the transport. I'm switching these two types of gizmo by hitting Y after clicking the W. Okay, now we have the 3D gizmo tool. I will hit gear icon here and just click remesh by union. Alright, remesh by union, and hit gear icon, click accept. Now after accepting it, it has merged those weld point. Alright, the fingers. Now I will hit Z mesh with 5 poly counts and keep groups to on. That's it, and it will give me a Z mesh model with merged parts with good topology. That's all we want. Alright, that's all we want. Remember those 131k points. I will hit click Ctrl D multiple times to give the 3 subdivision levels like previously had, and now I will switch back to the previous undos where we had this polypen. Hold Ctrl and click this bar. Remember, it comes with the ZBrush 2022 and above, and I will just switch to the current undo steps, the last one, and I will go to subtool, project, and project history. It will ask me to project the polypen as well. Always yes. Okay, now it will project the details including the polypen. That's all we want. Now we have the merge body. We haven't dynameshed it. Okay, I use the mesh by union for the clean transitions. Now we are free to sculpt our way in and talk about the appeal of the character. I will first smooth this part a little bit. It will be covered by the handband, no doubt, but I tend to use to clean my models before I continue. Alright, now I will make sure the shapes work from all angles. Remember, you are a 3D artist. Shape should work from all angles. Don't just stuck with the one direction. You have to rotate the model all the time to see that it is working from all angles. Now then, one of the biggest thing in the appeal are the eyes. If you nail the eyes properly, your model will look really good in the earlier of the stages. I noticed that the eye needs to be a little bit close to the surface of the skin. Okay, the iris of the eyes, and the paint here was not good. So I will go to B brush and select hard P. Remember, these hard P brush are by Shane Olson, and just paint it out the black. After selecting the eyes, of course, which I didn't. Okay, select the eye and paint it out. Alright, now I need to somehow, don't be afraid by painting. Okay, you can mess it up, but by failing you learn. I need to make the iris closer to the surface somehow to bring the cuteness in it. The eyes are the major thing to look for the appeal, because if you don't make the eyes properly, you have failed to bring the appeal to the character. Shapes do work for the appeal, no doubt. Shape language is also important, but the eyes are the most important. If your character don't have enough eyes, then if your character has the closed eyes, for example, then You would be free to do as you please with the other section of the character. Now, well, we could say it is okay for now. I'm not completely sure. I might change the pupil iris later because we will add a sphere into it and match the shape of the iris. I won't just export the model with the painted eyes. Okay, I always make this separate sphere for the iris. Alright, now one thing I want to make sure to add the eyebrows. I will switch to the head, and remember, if your model has multiple subdivisions, insert brush won't work. So I will select the head, go to 3D CW, alright, and just upload the spheres, hit split marks, and name it eyebrows. I always name my subject, it helps me remind. I will select the color to most brownish way, alright, the colors of the spheres. Alright, now I can use the move brush, alright, but I will tell you another handy tool which I use and which is very efficient. It is called bend curve. Hit W to open the 3D gizmo tool and click this gear icon and click this bend curve. Alright, what it will do is, first I will change the axis. Let's see. Yes, it is no. I will need to change the. This is the proper axis, and hitting blue, green, or what was the blue, green, and red, you can change the axis of the bend curve, and this yellow icon will increase or decrease the increments. Okay, so I will choose 3 at the moment and just try to use these dots to match the shape of the eyebrows. Now, it is a very handy tool to make the shapes quickly if your shape is bent or curved with the having preserving the thickness. Okay, it helps preserve the thickness while bending the object. Now I will hit W again to move back to the normal gizmo, and I will just decrease the size of the eyebrows. Alright, again I will hit W, and again I can just choose the shapes of the eyebrows properly. Remember, bend curve tool, it is what I am using and it is very handy. Alright, now I will hit W and I will use the move brush this time. Okay, just use the move brush this time. I think I need to somehow make it flatter. The eyebrows are not round like a sphere, they are flatter. Alright, and I might need to change the angle a little bit. Trial and error it is, guys, trial and error. Alright, I might need to, I think might need to thin out a little bit the eyebrows. Alright, we can always jump back, it is not the final version. Alright, we can always jump back. Alright, I can call this eyebrows done for now at least. Now I will work on the head a little bit. The appeal is the subject of this video, and we need to somehow just gently define the eyebrows a little bit. Alright, now I need to make this part of the nose a little fatter, because in our character the nose is fatter. Alright, I might need to make this nose bridge a thinner a little bit. Alright, and for the ears. Alright, now for the shirt, I think like this wobbliness is not good for a design, as you can see, and I have just in my sleeve to fix that. There is a really good feature in ZBrush. If you go to geometry, or sorry, not geometry, there is an option called clay polish. If you go to the geometry, there is an option called clay polish. I have made a shortcut here. If you click on it, it will automatically fix the wobbliness and will mark some parts. Alright, but what we want for clay polish to do is clean the mesh, and it automatically cleaned the mesh and gave us a really good design mesh. Now that this option comes in very handy, I use it on the fabric and the body also. Whenever I need to clean something, I use clay polish. Now the stripes of a t-shirt has again gotten really thin, and what I'll do is I will just make them thicker a little bit. Alright, just so that it looks appealing for our muscular guy here. It doesn't have to be really thick, just a little subtleness. Alright, because subtleness is what we do. Simplicity is what we want to keep on our model. Stylized model always need to be clean and simplified as much as it can be. Spend much time as possible on the blockout itself, then switch to other things. Alright, I think I have made the stripes thicker. Need to fix the shirt here a little bit. Alright, now for the heads I need to add some parts here. Alright, because heads covers the whole head, including the side where the temporal line of the head is, but the topology of the hair blockout is really stretched, so I will just use the slider to the lowest, hit key groups and zero mesh it. The colors will be changed obviously to white because our white palette was selected. So I will again choose the color of the mustache and it will preview the color, and I will just hit fill object. The preview is now our color. Okay, it filled the object with the color. So if I switch back to other colors, it won't switch it. Okay, this is what fill object do. Now I will use the insert brush and just drag it out while the heads are selected. Okay, because these other meshes have subdivision levels and it won't work. Alright, just drag it out, again undo it, select the color, drag it out, and brush comes with the color which is on the preview here. Now here I will tell you a really quick trick. Alright, with the Gizmo 3D tool, hit W, and do you see this square rectangular shapes? It is scaling. Alright, you might know, you already know by that, but there is a really cool trick. If you hold Control and just drag this direction and drag it like this, it will flatten the mesh. Okay, it will clip the mesh, flatten the mesh. I do this all the time. For example, I want to clip the mesh into this direction. If I wanted to clip on the Z direction or X direction, I would use this green and red square, but I have to clip in this direction, so I will hold Control and just drag it down and it will clip the mesh. Okay, this is one hidden gem ZBrush provides. Now then, I will just make the hairs, this part of the hairs. Alright, I will make the hairs really quickly, and this part here needs to be filled with the heads as well. So I will just drag this piece over here, and just remember, spheres is all I use. Alright, spheres is all I use unless I am completely satisfied with the design. Okay, when I was completely satisfied with the hair, I will use different spheres to block out the proper hairs. Alright, now then, for the hand itself, I have noticed that the back side of the hand is not looking really appealing. So I will just fill it with the clay brush, alright, and just try to make the hands, try to give the mask to the hands a little bit, alright, because now I will fill the hands and palms in red like I did it with the nose. So the red is selected. I will select the paint brush, which is the default, which comes with the default ZBrush. You can go to B and P and you would see a paint brush. Now I will just paint it out the fingers, alright. I am not just blindly making red paint. These parts of the hand do come with the blood vessels, okay, and they are always red. If you look at your hand real quick, you could see that your hands will be red on these parts because blood flows in them, alright. And either it's a stylized or realistic, you have to add some real elements into it in order to make it work. No matter how the exaggerated design is or the concept is, it will always make sense with the real world. Remember that. Either it's stylized, super stylized, even the Disney cartoons make some sense if you compare them with the real life. The anatomy needs to work always. Either is stylized, okay, either is exaggerated. Frank Frazetta, if you search Frank Frazetta on the Google, you would see that his anatomy was really exaggerated, okay, but it made sense. He was a very famous painter known for his painting of the fantasy worlds, alright. If you see his artwork, you would see that his anatomy was really exaggerated but in an appealing way. If you're a Lord of the Rings type of fans, I highly recommend watch his paintings. Alright, now we need to select the shirt again and just try to make this part thinner. Alright, now I'm thinking of creating the armbands, okay, and for that I will use the extract feature. And first I will select the arms and I will use the extract feature here and of course here. This part of the mesh, this part of the arm is looking really thin, unfortunately, so we might need to make it thicker a little bit. Alright, I will just make the arm real thick, okay, because it does need to make sense from all the directions, as I said, all the directions. Alright, if your design is working on one direction, make sure to rotate and see it needs to be work from all direction. Okay, now for the band, I will again hold control while my lasso is selected. I will just drag it out the band, okay. The band needs to be same length compared to the other hand in order to need it to work. Alright, we need to use the marks again. Alright, now then, I think I'm not liking the hand. Alright, I need to work a little bit more with the hand. Okay, now this looks better. Again I will remove the mask, clear the mask and try to make the same width band. Just select the lasso tool and again third time I am masking this band. Alright, now then I have the band. I have tried my best to make it the same length as the other hand. Now As last time how I made the t-shirt by using the extract feature, I will again use this extract feature here. Go to geometry, go to subtool, sorry, and go to the extract and just hit extract feature. Okay, and it will give you a preview. Just accept it, because if you don't like it, we can always do the extract feature again. Alright, I will switch to the gray and I will unmask it. And the good thing about extract is you can always switch back to the original mesh in which you have used the mask, and the mask we just did is already there. Okay, I'll switch back to the armband. Now I will hit click here and make it solo so I could see the topology. Okay, this is a very dense topology. I will try to keep it low as possible. Let's see the lowest. Mesh it, and it is really low. I don't need it. Let's see 0.5. Mesh it, and why it's not giving me a proper topology. Let's see auto groups. Now mesh it. Okay, now because it was having different polygroups, it was messing up this mesher. It still is very high, so I will select 0.2. let's see. Okay, this is more like it. We could even go back to 0.1 like I previously did, but it didn't work because I was having multiple polygroups here. Sometimes it messes up this mesher. Okay, this is the lowest zero mesh I could do. Now I will use the Z modeler tool again, of course. I have made my own shortcut, so B and Z for you, Alt and Q for me. It will pop up a message. The message it pops up will not come to you because I usually turn the dynamic off during the draw size, and because of it just the message pops up whenever I use the Z model tool, telling me that I need to turn the dynamic on in order for the Z model brush to work. So this pop-up message, annoying pop-up message, won't come to you if you're using the dynamic option here. Okay, now for the Z modeler to work, these are the same polygroups. I will just hit solo, and let's see how dynamic subdivision is working on it. Okay, I will hit D and I will use the thickness slider in the dynamic tab. We don't need to use Z modeler. Okay, we just have to see the preview of it. Okay, go to the dynamic subdivision and just increase the thickness. Okay, just the thickness. Now then we have the arm bands. It still needs to work. All right, we still need to make it the design appealing, but it's a start. Okay, now I will do the same for the hair. Now that I think we have come really far with our sculpt, all right, and I think I need to wind up the video here, as the video is got really large, and in the next video we will tweak the design some more, and I'm thinking of adding the heads of the mustache and the hairs he has on the back. I will use the spheres, of course, this time again, but we will finalize the mustache and the hairs, and we will make the design more interesting. So again, if you like the video, comment, subscribe, please join my Facebook group if you haven't, and the link will be pinned down in the comment section. Please be sure to share this with anyone who needs to learn the stylized Hulk or stylized character in general. I will see you on the next video. Please take care until next time. Goodbye.